I was wounded 2 times.
And take me through. What was the first time? Where was it? What happened?
Oh God! Now I gotta think. Um, the first time it was in Italy. Uh, it was from an artillery show. It wasn't a piece of metal. It was a piece of rock that went in right across my wrists here, and my wrists. I didn't do anything about it because I thought it was just the same. And 2 days later, my wrist was up like a balloon, and I went to the medics, and um, they had me. I'll never forget it. Take my helmet off. They poured water in, and they heated it up on a Coleman stove, and had me soak it in. And I had to do that for three days. Then went back, and the doctor lanced it, and all this pus and stuff come out, and bandage it up. I had to have it in a sling like this. And that was before we went to, just before we were going to uh, Anzio. Yeah, it had to be Anzio.
And I mean, do you remember what you were doing when that shell landed?
Ducking. I really don't. I don't remember that.
That's okay.
No.
So why don't you tell me now about the second time? How were you wounded the second time?
Uh, the second time, it was in the Black Force in Germany. I was the platoon sergeant, tech sergeant, and we were, I forget where we were going, but it was in the Black Forest, and Colonel Spark said he wanted this. There was hardly any fighting there, and we were going to event. This was like in the evening. Colonel Sparks sent for me, and he said, send a patrol out because we're in the Black Forest. He says, and see how far they go before they make contact. He says, just let them make contact and then come back. So I sent a 6-man patrol out because of the force, and wanted them separated a little bit because if the Germans are dug in, they would get them all at once or watch. So send a patrol out, and then they come back, and I was. They reported the Sparks. That's what they did. And this one fella, I think his name was Mansfield. I'm not sure him because he was very new to the outfit. He just arrived from the States maybe 2 or 3 weeks before. And they were talking to Sparks. I wasn't there when they were talking to him. And they said they did, the buck sergeant that led the group reported that he didn't come across anyone, and how far they went. And this Mansfield opened up his mouth. I always remember because I told him I'd shut it up for him if he ever opened it up again. because he says, I seen a German machine gun in a hole, but he says there's nobody around. He said that to Sparks, and Sparks hit the roof, and he sent for me, and he told me what the report was. He says, you take this, and go out and take a squad out and see what you can find. So I said to him, I'm pretty sure his name was Mansfield. I says, you're coming with us and show us where you've seen that machine gun. So we went out and we got in the woods so far distance, and I said, all right, we're going to separate a little, but we're going to keep in contact, eye contact with each other. Don't lose each other. So we did, and I kept Mansfield. I said, it was close to me. I said, where did you see that? He said, up a little further, up a little. I kept saying up a little further, and all of us sudden the machine gun opened fire, and so I hit the ground naturally, and two of the other fellows were hit. Mansfield wasn't hit though, and the next thing I knew, I hear a thud, and then an explosion. I thought my left shoulder was gone. I really did. I put my hand inside my blouse and came out all blood. And Mansfield was all right there. I said, okay, we made contact. Let's go back. We lost 3 guys were killed there. And all because he didn't know enough when he seen the machine gun in the beginning to tell the sergeant that he was there was a machine gun here. And what it was, the Germans were probably taking a break somewhere away from it, and they couldn't get back to that machine gun. And so, anyways, when I went back, I says, we made contact. He says to Sparks, he says, I heard it. We'll take care of them in the morning. And of course, in the morning they were gone. The Germans were gone, and I ended up going to the hospital to have X-ray taken because the blood was coming out through my pores. It didn't break the skin. Just the concussion forced the blood through my pores. And I spent 2 days in the hospital, and I went up to the nurse and said, I'm going back to my outfit. She says, you'll go back when the doctor tells you to. And so that night I went back to the outfit. But that was the story there. That's how I got it.
That incident, that explosion, I mean, you think that was a shell that just...
It was a concussion grenade. It was a grenade. Concussion grenade.
And you mentioned some of the Americans, 3 of them were killed.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you know they had been killed and not just wounded?
Because when it got daylight, this happened at early in the night, and so in the morning we went, scouting party out. We were advancing then at that spot because that's where the machine gun was. And I wasn't with them because I had to go have my shoulder examined. And they come across the body.